Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking apart the 6.2 liter and seeing exactly what's wrong with it. In the last video that I actually did anything with this engine, you saw that I took the heads off and we saw we had a broken piston and rods and piston and stuff was all throughout the engine. So and then I bagged it up, sprayed lubricant in the cylinders and bagged it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off the crank pulley in this video, get the timing cover off, get the cam pulled out, and see if we can rotate this thing over. And once I can get all that stuff taken out and figure out exactly what's wrong with this engine, and well, not what's wrong with it, but what can be replaced to get this thing back up. Basically, if we don't have to go to the machine shop, this thing will get done a lot faster. So I'm hoping when I pull everything apart that everything is good and we don't have to take it to a machine shop. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so you see it still has lubricant in here, both sides. So let's go ahead and see if I have a socket to take this pulley off, and go ahead and start cracking this thing off. I'll go ahead and put it up on time lapse, and if I notice anything or I need to say anything, I'll come back to the video. Okay, so I started to spin the engine over and it gets to a certain part and it stops. And I think just by moving it back and forth and watching, I think this rod on this piston is bent because it won't allow this piston to come all the way up like the rest of them are. So I think that rod is bent. This one was broke. So what I might have to do is flip the engine over and take off all the connecting rods and knock the pistons out, and then see how smooth my crankshaft spins over. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. But that big piece of rod actually came out. So let me go ahead and flip this engine over, and just like I said, we can go ahead and start loosening up the bearing caps and take the pistons out. And I'm pretty sure this connecting rod is bent. So if that one's, all the rest of them are coming up and down. So I think it's just this one that's bent because it only gets to that point and it stops. So, all right, let's get it flipped over. Okay, all the bearings look good coming out. Crankshaft looks real good. It spins over nice and easy now. That piston that was I told you that I thought was bent. It was really hard to come out the block, so I think the rod was actually bent on it. So if I was to replace it, I would probably replace that one as well. The cylinder looks good. And there, it looks good. Just for some reason, it was hard to come out. So I wouldn't trust putting it back in there. But everything looks good. I got my pistons and rods in order that they came out, because if I go back with these same pistons, which I plan on doing, they have to go back in the same order. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and get this front timing cover off and take the cam out. Okay, so I'm gonna have to come back to this because apparently the two harmonic balance pullers that I have won't work. This is a regular pulley puller, and this is supposed to pull harmonic balances, but I can't figure out how to get this thing to work. I'm used to the one with either 2 or 3 jaws, and I can't get it to work on there. But I do have the boat out, so it's like I said, I'll go and get the 3. I have a 2-jaw puller up at the shop that I'll bring back down here. So, all right, I'll continue once I go get the pulley or the puller. I'm gonna go ahead and take the front cover off and try to get this pulley off and take the lifters out and just continue disassembling this thing to see if there's any more damage. All right, so all the lifters came out easy, and they all look good. And so I suspect that the cam, which is just a regular stock cam, is probably still in good condition. So, all right, let's continue on. Let's look at the lifter bores. Just like I said, I done took these engines apart before where the lifters were stuck in the bore. So these came out real good. So the bores are good. On my 5.3 that I built, I had to get the bores honed because the lifter was stuck in it. This pulley is not trying to come off. I'm about to put some heat on it. So I'm gonna get the torch and heat it up and see if I can get it to come off then. Okay, so I can't get it off with the 2-jaw. So I went and bought a 3-jaw puller, and we're gonna see if the 3-jaw can get it off. So let me go ahead and open this up and get this out, and hopefully I have better luck with this one. All right, finally got the crank pulley off. It wasn't an easy task, but it came off. So let's go ahead and get this front cover off and get the cam retainer plate off and get this cam pulled out. All right, so I took the front cover off and just look. Piece of the piston is inside of here by the oil pump. So that just shows how when the piston explodes, why you pretty much have to tear the engine down, because you get bits and pieces everywhere. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and get this oil pump off and get the cam gear off and slide this cam out. All right, cam is out and the cam looked good. So that would tell me that the bearings are probably pretty good. All right, so everything's out. I also found one of the timing gear guides broken right there. So that was broken in there, so that would have made some noise. All right, so I got everything out. I'm not gonna take the crank out just yet, but so far it just looks like that piston exploded, scarred up the cylinder walls, and doesn't look like it messed up anything else. I'll show you something unique about this cam that I've never seen before. This cam got like a valley cut right in there. Never seen that before. So maybe that has something to do with the active fuel management. I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. You see I got it tore down, and just like I said before, the only issue is where the piston exploded at, and it caused a little bit of scarring in the block. I'm trying to see if I can see it now. Oh, it's right here. Right there. So, it doesn't feel very deep, but I'm not sure if a hone to get it out. It'd be good if a hone could get it out, but if not, it may need to be bored a little. So, which means more time at the machine shop. So, all right, let's go ahead and wrap this video up, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it in the outro. Okay, so as you see, I got the 6.2 liter tore down. It looks like the only damage, the major damage, is that one cylinder wall. And other than that, just like I said before, if it can be honed, that would be great. If not, then we're gonna have to bore out the block, or bore out all the cylinders. So I'm hoping we have to do that because the wait for a machine shop can be really long, and I just don't want to have to go through that. But if we have to, then we have to. So I'm gonna try to save the cam and some of the stuff because we have another 6.2 that also has some engine issues, and we don't know what it is. And even though it's a stock cam, it may be worth saving that cam just to put back into another engine because the cam looks good. So thanks for watching. Click on that subscribe button if you haven't. Click that notification bell, and I'll see you in another video.